Well, I'm just about getting ready to go off to my mom's, and lucky for me, this year Zoe's going to be able to go as well, so that'll be nice. Yeah, the plastic's back on for now because I'm just kind of doing number crunching stuff, which is one of the most favorite parts for me. I could just go on and on and on, just doing number crunching. So yeah, I'm right now. I'm basically breaking down each section for, like, for example, like this is the Lotson. I'm calling this the Lotson Garrison course, and then so that I can figure out how many available potential replacement points are there. Then looking at each sector, which infantry divisions or any infantry units have reduced strength points, adding them up, which way to get them quicker, that place. And here's the corridor for my version of Sam and Frodo, which is going to be the German Expeditionary Force. They're going to be going to, like I said, to Mount Doom, and I used a picture, I do believe, of Dimitri Yushkevich, and so that's where hopefully they're going to be going. But anyways, I need this corridor free at when I launch the surprise attack. That's going to be difficult because one of the reinforcement spots is Grodno there, as well as obviously Mount Doom. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But part of it is going to be the use of cavalry to when I start sending off Jeff towards Mount Doom, which should take. I should be able to get infantry uh, combat units up to the enemy zone to exert an enemy zone of control on Mount Doom in 2 turns if they use column movement and are unhindered. Well, obviously, so that's awesome. That's 2 turns. So I have to figure this all out, kind of thing. Anyways, so that's going to be, yeah, I'm having a blast figuring this out. It's just so much flipping fun. And then I also painted up the 3D printed bridge hex thing, and I just painted it blood red because that makes sense. So yeah, and then I'm just going to be able to figure out, okay, and then where do I have to bring, expended troops towards as close as I can to the garrisons. Boom, boom, boom. We got to go quick, quick, quick. There's only 8 turns, and it takes 3 turns to convert garrison troops, like fortress strength points, into combat ready units, and they're still not even at the position that you want. So effectively, that means 4 turns. I only have 8. Get the point. Anyways, I also wanted to 3D print or use some of my existing 3D printed stuff for like Radom and Kielsa, I think is how you pronounce it. And yeah, I was looking at some of my 3D printed stuff. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to maybe use this. Well, I'm going to have to shrink it down, obviously, shrink it down to the size of a hex. But then I'll have to make these. It was made for a different purpose. I wanted to insert figures in here, miniatures, for another game that I was using it for. But if I shrunk it down to the size of like the hex for the game, I mean, the church and the chateau and the row houses would essentially vanish. So what I'm going to do is I'll go in the program and I'll rescale them and pop them something like to that size. If you get the idea, I'll make the church even bigger. But I mean, I could use that church straight up. But you can see what I mean. Like, you can get some pretty cool. I mean, that's the exact same thing, just in a different scale. And then those are little tanks I was playing around with, like different scales to, because I wanted to make my own miniatures for GEV, the way Charles says it, and I think everybody else says it. But ever since I was a little kid, I've always, it's one of my favorite games. And it was the very first non-like Monopoly game I ever got, or whatever, and all that stuff. And I've always called it Jev. And I know it doesn't make any sense, but that's what I've always called it. So yeah, I've been corrected ever since I was a kid. People are like, you mean GEV or GEV? I'm like, no, JEV. But that's what I call it. So yeah, I'm going to, I'll fiddle around with some 3D printed stuff. But right now, it's funny, in the irony, when Charles has popped a comment, something about roll some dice. I'm thinking, my God, talk about an oxymoron person in some ways for me, because one flip side is like, come on, roll some dice, because he wants to see some fun and some action and some play. No, on the flip side, he's also commented like, Chris, you having fun? You know, like, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm in blast mode. I'm like, I could spend the next 3 months just with a pad of paper going over stuff. It's just, oh yeah, I'm in heaven, man. Like I'm like, oh, I've got to plan all this crazy nonsense. It's just absolute glee. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas, and see you in a few hours. And yeah, that's it. Merry Christmas.